Hi, just a quick note before we start. The audio quality is going to be pretty bad. There's echoes, someone is in a phone call during it, so sorry about that. And the structure's going to be a bit weird. So basically, what's going to happen is after you hear this, you're going to hear Ethan do an introduction to his album, the first album he picks, and an introduction to the podcast, just him. And then very seamlessly, you won't even notice it. It's going to go into all four of us talking about the albums. Trust me, you won't notice. Alright, on with it.
Through these headphones, will I? I'll only be able to hear it after we finish recording.
Yeah, you're recording yourself.
Okay.
Now. So you're going to read out. Also, you might want to do an intro to the podcast. I did. Oh, there you go. Okay.
So can I just start speaking whenever?
Yeah, I'm just going to sit on the phone.
Okay. Alright, fair enough. Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of Music Mates, the podcast where I pick 2 albums from each year in the 90s, apart from 1992, Music Mates 70s, and the final episode. And we talk about them. So today we have 2 absolutely cracking albums to review for you. Far and away for me, one of the strongest years we're going to do. Both of these albums have been long-time favourites of mine. I've gone back to them many times for many reasons. Right, so we'll start off this album with the one that's from May the 10th, 1994 by 90s alternative geeky rock legends Weezer, being the first, in fact, in a long line of progressively worse albums to the point today where you begin to question your commitment to the band and their ability to perform. The album is, of course, Weezer, informally known as the Blue Album by the band, if you hadn't already guessed, Rage Against the Machine. Cool thing about this band as well is that all of their albums are named after colours, which are technically called all Weezer, except one will be the green album, one will be the red album, the white album, and so on. But this one, well, I wouldn't say is miles ahead being the best. I did say progressively worse, but their second effort, Pinkerton, yet another album with a colour in its name, is also really good. It's especially after that one that the band starts to lose the plot a little bit and inevitably make more of a shift to commercial pop rock music, which is not their strong suit. So the band was formed in LA in 1992 by vocalist and lead guitarist Rivers Cuomo, which is just an incredible name straight off, drummer Patrick Wilson, bassist and backing vocalist Matt Sharp, and guitarist Jason Cropper. Weezer signed with Geffen Records in 1993, and during their recording, Cropper left the band to be replaced by Brian Bell. In fact, when the Blue Album came out, the album was a hit mostly from the singles on the album that got a lot of circulation because of how good, and they really are, the music videos were. Especially Buddy Holly and Undone, the Sweater song, both remarkable songs directed by a young Spike Jonze, who started his career making many music videos in the 90s, with his most famous one, in fact, being with the Beastie Boys for Sabotage, another excellent music video satirising cheesy 70s cop TV shows very well. The second album, Pinkerton, released in 96, was originally meant to be a rock opera called Songs from the Black Hole, thought to express Cuomo's mixed feelings about the band's success. However, this concept was abandoned when he realised his songwriting became, as he said, darker, more visceral and exposed. Initially, Pinkerton wasn't very well received and sold much more poorly than their debut. People attributed this to be due to the more cynical lyrics, abrasive sound, and Rolling Stone magazine itself even voted it as one of the worst albums of that year. Although since critics have kind of changed their mind and it's now considered some of Weezer's best work, which is certainly true, it's a terrific album. Shortly after their tour in support of Pinkerton, it was almost as if Weezer had actually gone off the grid. After a very successful optimistic first album and a failed second album, the band planned their next move. Discontent with the period it took to reassess, Sharp left the group, which unfortunately meant there'd be no more amusing harmonies in Weezer songs. However, a new generation of Weezer enthusiasts grew in adoration of Pinkerton, and its rough, unpolished sound giving the band a new fan base growing their listeners. Once the remaining members wrapped up any unfinished side projects, they focused on a third album, the Green Album, also known as Weezer, with a new bassist Mickey Welsh. The album was an immediate hit, reaching the high spot in the charts with songs like Hashpipe and Island in the Sun, both pretty good songs as well, in fact. During their tour that summer, Mickey Welsh unfortunately fell severely ill and was replaced by Scott Schreiner, where Welsh unfortunately passed away in October 2011. The band then released Maladroit in 2002, Make Believe in 2005, which had the highly overrated Beverly Hills on it, the Red Album in 2008, and Ratitude in 2009. Then Hurley in 2010, which has an awesome album cover, you should definitely check it out. Then in quick succession, Everything Will Be Alright in 2014, the White Album in 2016, Pacific Daydream in 2017, and to be released next year, the Black Album, making it the band's 12th in total. They have They have also recently become very popular again with their covers of Africa by Toto and Paranoid Android by Radiohead. Only this band would cover one of the best and worst songs of all time. This is, of course, Weezer. Now, when it comes down to the Blue Album, it consists of the tracks My Name is Jonas, No One Else, The World Has Turned and Left Me Here, Buddy Holly, Undone the Sweater Song, Surf Wax America, Say It Ain't So, In the Garage, Holiday, and finally concluding the album, It's Only in Dreams.
Right,
Okay.
so let's get started with the first album. So the first track on the Blue album is called My Name is Jonas. I think it's a pretty good song. It's a catchy start to the album, and it tells you straight away what you're in for with this band. And one thing I quite like about it is that the lyrics are like, well, I had this talk with Johnny before already, but I think they're completely insane and abstract. He's managed to like extract some meaning out of them somehow.
Bullshitting is my top skill.
You're very good at it. Yeah. Cuomo, lead singer of the band, has said repeatedly before that this song is about describing his experience of finding out his brother has been in a really serious car crash. And, yeah, does anyone else have anything to say about this song?
I just think it's an intro to the album, which is what it is. And it's got this like garage band sort of sound, which is carried throughout the whole thing. It's got that sort of, I want to say generic 90s sort of feel to it. And
yeah, I think they did record it in the garage.
In a garage.
Do you get what I'm trying to say there?
Yeah, I think of all the songs we've done so far, this is the most simple. Like I want to say, like you look back on Red Hot Chili Peppers, Rage Against the Machine, others. They were putting their own spin on things, and this just goes back to the roots of being a song made in the 90s.
Yeah,
that's what I have to say.
Agree with you.
Harry,
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Well, I really like the song because I really like the album. I don't have like that much technical stuff to say. I'd say it's got an upbeat song.
Mm-hmm.
I've written powerful chords. I don't know if that's correct.
Are they powerful?
But it feels powerful.
Well, when it comes to
It feels
Weezer,
powerful.
we are entering Power Chord City a little bit.
Yeah.
So
But the
they are quite
Yeah.
easy chords. Always great, but yeah, power chords nonetheless.
yeah, I like how the power chords and like the little like kind of more acoustic bits. There's like a nice juxtaposition there.
Yeah, because
I've written
the song
it's
starts off
pretty
with, like,
dynamic.
Yeah. It starts off with a clean section, doesn't it? Which I think it comes back to in between the distortion. Which does work really well. Yeah.
So, Jono,
Okay.
Yeah.
any thoughts?
Yeah, Jonathan.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's when recently, like listening back to Weezer, I realized I'm not sure if I entirely like their sound anymore. I mean, it's interesting and unique, but I don't know. I think the voice of the singer just doesn't quite work for me. There's just something there. But no, it's a good song.
Is there something in particular you're not a fan of when it comes to his voice?
Yeah, I think it's kind of that he's not really singing in a sense. It's kind of more a chant, which doesn't particularly do it for me, I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I feel like that's
Fair enough.
a start to the album. So
yeah.
we continue on to No One Else.
No one else, indeed. Again, this is another song that I'm particularly a big fan of. I think I like every song on this album quite a lot, in fact. I like that My Name is Jonas starts off with a really good acoustic section, but No One Else shoots you like straight into the song pretty heavy as it begins. And I think except apart from maybe Say It Ain't So, it has the best lyrics in the song for me. I do see myself in him a little bit. Yeah, no, I mean the lyrics are, I guess, fairly creepy and borderline obsessive, but no, I do like them, and they have like a really catchy feel to them, like a lot of the songs on the album as well. Anyone got anything to say about this one?
Yeah, because I'm the opposite to you. Because I found the lyrics creepy and I didn't enjoy listening to the song because of it.
Yeah, No One Else. My note is that it is incel propaganda, and that's my point.
And because the lyrics are so prominent, it's basically all this like the only notable thing about the song is the lyrics, and if it doesn't work for you, then it's not got much going for it. So for me, this is one of the few missteps of the album.
So am I the only one who doesn't like the lyrics then, Jonathan?
Yeah, because that was like listening to this one. This is one of the ones I didn't particularly know when like immediately looking at the song titles. I recognized it a bit when listening to it again, and then just sort
I
of
guess that probably reflects
realized
quite badly
oh
on me then.
then realized it's the one with the awkward lyrics that
I'm not
yeah.
sure if there's like a point to it. Like it just sounds kind of weird, and I'm not sure if it's like
I
meant
kind
to be
of
a weird
looked,
commentary
yeah,
on it or anything.
I looked into it a little bit, and apparently this and the next song are kind of like linked.
Yeah,
I d- Oh, okay, Ethan, can you go into that if we finish talking about this
Yeah.
one?
Yeah,
I
'cause
can.
the next song, The
no,
World
you're
Has
right.
Turned.
Yeah, the world is turning left me here. You're right, the lyrics from both songs are interconnected. A World Has Turned has got this kind of like, it's in a sense that the person singing the previous song is kind of now wondering why he's been deserted.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's quite cool.
yeah, it is. There was actually, very quickly, a few songs from Nevermind towards the latter half which are interconnected with some sort of kind of, a lyrical kind of theme that transcends between all three songs, which I have to go and find out more about because someone told me that recently, and I'll probably tell you outside of the podcast. But when it comes down to this one, I think it starts off pretty well. You got the drums that come in, kick it off with a nice hook, and the guitar lead line is really good. It resonates very well with underlying chords for me. Anybody else got anything to say?
This one, it was just like one of the more slower songs. I felt it had like a different, like, as we said, it started off pretty upbeat, but this one seemed a bit more solemn, a bit more, sad, as opposed.
Yeah, I like the chorus a lot. The chorus is really good.
Jonathan?
Yeah, it's one of the ones I like. Yeah, the sort of slower pace.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And we go on to
Buddy
definitely
Holly.
by far one of the more popular songs on the album, Buddy Holly, one I'm particularly fond of as well. And the music video itself was actually released on Buddy Holly's 58th birthday. I'm pretty sure about that. It's a fantastic music video as well. It's a really nice homage.
It's directed by Spike Jonze.
It is directed by Spike Jonze. Yes, he actually did quite a lot of music videos in the 90s before it kicked off his film career. So he did this. I believe he also did a music video to Undone the Sweater song, which we'll come on to at some point. And I think he did a couple of Bjork music videos as well. I'll have to check that at some point. I'll have that checked by the time we actually come on to the year that we do Bjork for. But I am fairly confident that's the case. Yeah, it's a fantastic music video, like I said, an homage to the 70s show Happy Days, which ran through to the mid-80s, and the aesthetic is extremely credible. The editing is top-notch, it's a must-watch. And, actually one last thing, so the solo is really cool, and then I think it's just after the chorus before the second verse kicks in, there's like a synth kind of, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
It's very, very cool. Anyone got anything to say about Buddy Holly?
Well, I just want to point out that I think this is where you start to get in the fact that this album is just like a massive meme, basically. Because some of those lyrics, he lost his shoe, now he can't kick and run. Other lines in the song, and
Yeah, but Tony, if Rage Against the Machine said that in an aggressive way, you'd love it.
yeah, but it doesn't say it in an aggressive way. It says it in like a kind of nerdy way. And my point with this, to get into non-meme criticism of this, is I noticed this with Buddy Holly, and also No One Else. Is I feel like the process for these songs is they get that one line that sort of repeats in the chorus, and that it's like, whatever, I look like Buddy Holly. They say it with the tune that they've come up with, and that's sort of, they've made the song at that point. It feels like it doesn't really sort of expand on it much more up past that sort of main rhythm, I want to say, which is it is good. Like I don't think that makes it just a bad song by default, but it's just sort of like not as interesting as, it's not really what I look for, that level of super repetitiveness, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a bit different to you, Tony. I think I don't know. I don't really liked the kind of the retro aspect of the song. It felt quite retro.
Yeah, I
Um,
can see that.
I've also written I love Matt Sharp. That's just in general. Yeah, I think I'm gonna save going on to what you were talking about, like it being a meme for
For say it.
in the garage or the garage,
I
as we
like
say.
that one. I like that one. That one's...
I'm gonna save
Yeah.
going into my like big thing about why I really like Weezer in that one.
Well,
But
you
yeah,
you like In the Garage, Tony, because he's got the Dungeon Master's guide.
Well, I'll bring that up later when we get to it. But to
Yeah.
get to that, we have to get to Undone. Does anyone have any
Yeah.
last things to say about Buddy Holly?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
John?
So I haven't really said anything.
John,
Yeah, I
alright.
like the energy part. This is probably my favourite Weezer song. But yeah, I sort of get what you're saying about that kind of simplicity to it. But it's, I don't know, I really enjoy the energy behind it. The sort of little
Yeah, I could see that.
fills that the guitars does at certain points, especially near the end. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about the we were just a buddy that just sticks in my head when I listen to it, and it just, I don't know. It's just a happy little song.
Yeah. Well, Undone is probably my favourite song from the album. For many reasons.
it's got a 52-second intro though.
But the intro is what makes it fantastic. Don't you like? I love the dialogue in between the verses. It reminds me a lot. I think I brought this up with Johnny the other day. Actually, there's a song by a really alternative band called Native Surf, which has a similar sort of feel to it, where it's people just speaking over some really cool kind of like distortion guitar riff. It's really kind of late 80s, early 90s alternative. It's like a Pixies Sonic Youth sort of feel to it, which never does any harm in my book, personally. I believe it's a conversation between a guy and a less enthusiastic guy at a party, and the second one is with a girl who needs a ride home, I think. So it's quite difficult. It's quite difficult to hear the less enthusiastic guy because of the fact that he's a lot more quiet during the song. So yeah, I love the lyrics in the chorus. I think it embodies perfectly the idea of having a sweater, a kind of like a comfort object you can gently pick away at to reveal someone's problems and insecurities until you're lying on the floor undone and you've been exposed. Really, really clever lyrics. I think
There's
it's
like
also, yeah, go on.
I don't know. I was just gonna say like 2 minutes into the song, there's kind of like a shift. Did you? Because I don't really know any technical terms, but I kind of felt like after the 52-second intro, you've got like a decent song, and then suddenly, like about halfway through it, kind of there's like a change, and then I found myself really enjoying it,
So you're not
especially
a fan
the
of
final
intro, then?
solo. No, it takes. For some reason, I really like this song, even though there's like a lot of things that if another album or another song had done, I would have found myself getting annoyed by it. But I actually quite like this song.
Yeah.
I need you to tell me why I like it, though, Ethan, because I don't know how to convey that
Well,
point.
you may like it because, again, the music video is also amazing. Directed.
You don't know Harry at all, Ethan.
The music video actually contains one unbroken tracking shot as the band play the song in a really large blue room where at one point a pack of dogs is released and they kind of make their way across the room. And yeah, because of the fact that it's told through one elongated tracking shot, I mean, we're going to talk about Old Boy next week. I'm a huge fan of Church of Men. Tracking shots, they're kind of my thing. I love them. So if you use one and use it effectively, I'm a fan. And one last thing I've got to say about it. I love the Nirvana-esque feedback wobble at the end that goes on for about 40 seconds, which Harry's probably not a fan of. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah. Tony, do you have anything to say about Undone?
For Undone, I like the line that it starts with. I think it starts with anyway. Just the if you want to destroy my sweater, then just pull the thread as I walk away. Like it sounds like a meme, but it's actually it's just delivered pretty confidently, which I like.
Yeah.
So So I think it's good. But I don't like it as much as the later songs. John, do you have anything for Undone?
Yeah, well, I feel like Ethan stole the notes I like said to him when he was like, "Oh man, can you find any meaning in this?" I'm like, yeah, here's the meaning I find.
That was a
Plagiarism
completely
in a
different
Mediate
song, and you
podcast.
know it was.
No,
We were talking about My Name Is Jonas.
I then went on to talk about this one, saying exactly what you just said. No, I'll admit we probably both came up with the same interpretation, but I'm just that's why I don't have much to say now, is because you've said what I'd say.
Need to whip out the rock paper scissors again. So should we move on to Surflax America then?
America. Yeah. I don't really have much to say about this. I still like it. It's got a cool punk vibe to it. It's probably the fastest paced song on the album.
Yeah.
Although I know Johnny's not a massive fan of it. And I'm also a fan of the breakdown section where there's only Matt Sharp singing, because it's a massive move.
Oh, I was gonna say the bit.
I love it so much.
The bit where it gets
It's such a generic song.
really quiet, right? Yeah, 2 minutes in, I actually quite like that, and it again, you're saying it's the most upbeat one, which I prefer.
Yeah, it's quite a generic song, but that moment just sets it apart from me. Like, I keep saying this, I'm probably completely wrong, and if I'm completely wrong, I like Weezer a hell of a lot less. But I like the fact that, like, if you look at the album cover, they're just four, like, weird dudes.
Yeah.
And they're a bit shit.
Yeah.
And they're, like, a bit lame. And that's what I like about them so much. Like, I like that Matt Sharp is, like, the one...
Everything you think about Weezer is completely 100% true.
Like, Matt Sharp, I like the fact that he's just their mate who can play the bass guitar. And, like, he just, like, chips in and no one asks him to. He's like, oh, I can sing this. He just can't sing. Like...
Oh my god.
Okay, we come along to... unless, Johnny, you have something you want to say about it.
Other than that, it sort of feels like the pace is too much for the actual song. That's what I feel. Like there are some songs that can get away with the fast pace, and I don't think this is one of them.
You're not a fan of Nightcore, Jono? Songs that are just sped up for no reason.
1.5 speed, man. It's my life.
Just gotta say, sometimes it works.
No, fair
Go on,
enough.
Jonathan.
So, is that, should we move on to...
No, I thought you had something else to say. No?
Well, no, I was just saying, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay.
Okay.
Then, the one we've all been waiting for.
I have one note for this.
I also have one note for this.
You know,
I have Wrestle with Jimmy, 10 out of 10.
yeah, no, pretty much it. It's probably the best song, even though I prefer Undone. It's got a great intro riff, fantastic lyrics, and one of my all-time favourite solos, not just for Weezer, just in general. It's absolutely fantastic. I like particularly how, and again I think I've put this to Johnny before a couple of times, the fact that there's the lines, love is a life taker and drug is a heartbreaker are well juxtaposed, because you normally assume the nouns are the other way around, with love being a heartbreaker and drugs being a life taker. So I like what he did there.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be like a similar thing to like American Psycho, where we talk about it and we like, it's such a part of our day-to-day lives. But when it comes to actually doing a podcast about it, we won't talk about it much.
Yeah,
But I remember when Ethan made me a mix, he kind of like made me like, I was like, what are your favourite songs? And I listened to them all. And then he, for some reason, like, I gave him my top 10 and the songs didn't make it in. I had to like find a reason why.
Mm.
So like, this was one of them that didn't make it in. And he was like, why not? And I was like, I don't know. I kind of didn't really like the backing singer, who's Matt Sharp.
Oh, no.
God bless him. And then Wrestle with Jimmy was like one of the reasons why I was just like, what does it even mean? It's so dumb. It sounds. And then we discovered the YouTube videos, and since listening to that little bit, just the first 30 seconds of the song, it's quickly become like one of my favorite songs. I don't even know how.
Yeah, it is a very good song.
Is this the one you have to be in a band to understand?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you wouldn't understand the meaning behind Wrestle with Jimmy unless you were in a band.
Fair enough. I mean, I've never been in Terminal Velociraptors, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But I think I like this one. It's definitely the part of the album where I start to, enjoy the songs a bit more, because the rhythms are a lot more varied, and I like the guitar back, to it. And I will defend Matt Sharp's sort of off-key vocals. They're a nice contrast with the actual singer at the time. It's just almost like a bit of an echo to it, and it makes it the one of the more memorable songs, I feel. But maybe that's just because of the memes. That's what I have to say.
I really like that stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. Jonathan, do you have anything about saying so?
Just to say, I had almost the same note as Harry, just wrestle with Jimmy, but 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I love it so much. Like, it's just grown on me. From someone who didn't used to like this song, just listening to even just the version which is just Matt Sharp singing, or just the wrestle with Jimmy is the only line in the song.
Harry,
I mean,
have you actually listened to the song in its entirety, or just the two meme versions, which are like half of the song?
Hasn't even.
yeah, I've listened to the song in its entirety.
Okay, alright.
I haven't even seen this one.
Right, so are we going on to In the Garage?
Yeah, we can move in the garage.
They never say garage, Ethan.
I
They
don't
say
have much
garage.
to say about it. It's a garage, okay?
Yeah, but they don't
So-
say that. They make up a word.
They're American, Tony. They don't speak like us.
No one in America says garage.
Yeah, but I speak
Yeah, it is a
garage.
very weird pronunciation.
Okay, look.
That was one of my notes.
I've only got a couple of notes. It's called it solo and so nerdy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lyrics are so good. I love them so
Yeah, I
much.
do want to talk.
They're just so
talk about
adorable.
it.
I love Weezer.
I will actually say that the vocals and delivered through them, the lyrics are probably the most interesting part about this song, because it's about, like, I want to say it feels like it's building up like an identity about, like, surrounding yourself with the things you like and using that to, like, make yourself feel comfortable, because I've always thought that while on a surface level musicians might appear to be like a Chad, they're secretly a virgin deep down, and so
Tony, stop using incel language.
no, and so this is about that. It's like really about, like, hey, I like being in the garage. I like all these nerdy things that make me feel like I have this, like, identity that that people can't judge because I'm on my own, and yeah, it was interesting, this sort of like materialistic, it felt like, Ready Player One, just pointing out a lot of things that I like yeah, I know the Dungeon Master's Guide, I know 12-sided dice, I know what an attack roll is, and I did like it. It's probably one of my favourite ones, just for thinking about that as I was listening to it.
Definitely builds the brand.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like it's kind of like the whole, we're kind of losers, but we've somehow made it as a rock band.
Yeah, I like that it comments on that. It's definitely one of the few songs where I was like sort of just listening to the lyrics for the sake of, like, understanding what it was trying to convey, and also the fact
It's the inverse, no one else.
Yeah, I am glad that you guys have, like, got Weezer's deal and you kind of understand who they are, because what you talk about and what you know about them is, like, all the stuff that I've talked about in the synopsis of the band and their history. So it's nice to hear that you, like, got the program.
The synopsis of the band that we've already listened to, Ethan.
Yeah, well,
I'm not gonna lie, I was playing RuneScape while he was doing that.
Which we have, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already happened.
I mean, like, I don't know why it didn't sound like you were on the phone to Tony. He was putting his phone up to the microphone. I don't know.
Don't say that, Harry. That might be how we record it.
Just ruin the illusion for all the listeners.
Are you watching closely?
Okay. So I guess we can move on to holiday, unless Jonathan has something to say about In the Garage.
In the garage.
Yeah, no, my only note is in the garage.
Johnny, you kept cutting out there. Sorry. Say that again.
In the garage is just my one and only note.
Ooh, fair enough.
All right. We'll move on to holiday now. I've not really got anything to say. It's an okay song. It's got a nice breakdown section with an interesting barbershop quartet feel to it, with just the bass the only instrument. Got nothing really left to say.
The intro just sounds like just like Queen came back for like a few minutes, well, I'll say minutes, a few seconds. It's a glorious moment.
I kind of think a controversial opinion, but it's not really. I think the album should end here because having an 8-minute song at the end of an album, it's no good. Stop doing it.
Yeah,
Harry, you're so wrong.
I see why they do it. They sort of do it to like sort of let you off slowly, just to sort of ease you out of it. But I don't know. I prefer Holiday more to Only in Dreams. I think Holiday's a lot more varied, and I just like it more. Whereas Only in Dreams, like all I remember is that it was just like 8 minutes long, kind of slow. That's it.
Okay, well,
I like Holiday.
My controversial opinion is that I actually like Only in Dreams, which we can get to on now.
Yeah.
So I think it's, well, not according to you guys, but I think it's one of the best songs. I don't find it gets boring. I don't think that it doesn't outstay its welcome. And the build-up before the final chorus for me is just incredible. The guitar slowly gets louder, there's some feedback that gets introduced, the drumming slowly increases in tempo and incorporates more of the kit. It's monumental when it actually all lets loose for that final chorus. And I also like how it ends and begins with the same bass line. I think it's a good way to kind of bring the song back together at the end.
Maybe I could have listened to it more, but it is 8 minutes long. You know, I've got to savor my youth, Ethan, while I still have it. And this song would siphon it all from me. So is there any more comments on Weezer, or should we get to reviewing it?
Well, I think, Tony, we covered everything in the intro, so I think we should just go and rate the album as a whole now.
Yeah. Okay. Who wants to start?
Well, I think it's been a tradition for me to start, hasn't it?
Okay.
Because I normally give the highest rating, and it kind of makes its way down from there, doesn't it?
All right. Let's fire it off.
Yeah.
Interstellar is an 8. It's not true.
So,
Keep going, Ethan. Keep going.
yeah. So I really like this album. I think one of the main appeals of this band, which we've covered pretty well, is the fact that, like I previously said, they're not just nerds; they're a group of D&D playing nerds. But they prove that the people who you would associate rock and roll with the least can really rock your socks off, and with such style as well, which is quite surprising given their personality as a band. River Cuomo, the lead singer specifically, is not the conventional rock star that you think in the same way that kind of like Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses is, or Ozzy Osbourne from Black Sabbath. But he gets the job done. He has really relatable lyrics at times. I know you guys don't really like that second song. I'm still a big fan of them. So struggling with, love and relationships, as well as not entirely fitting in. And he has this kind of quirky sense
I've
of humor.
literally never heard a song about love before in my life.
And it feels genuine, which really helps because of his character. It's not just an act he puts on. I like that. So I'm going to give the album a 9 out of 10. I really like it.
Powerful.
Yeah, I'll probably go next because I'm gonna go the next highest. I feel like the albums I enjoy tend to be like if I can get a good feel for like the band through it. So like the highest one I've given so far is Nevermind. I really got a sense of like Nirvana through that. The next highest is probably Rage Against the Machine by Rage Against the Machine. Yeah, I mean through pretty much the lyrics and just the aggression you kind of got what Rage are about. And in a kind of different way, I feel like I know Weezer from this album.
Yeah.
There's something really kind of like twee and nerdy and kind of like very authentic about the album. The music itself probably is a 7, but just from like the experience of listening to it was so fun from start to finish. Both times I listened to the album, so I think I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Jono. I think should we save Jono for last since he said he's fallen off of Weezer. So. Man.
Yeah, but not really. He's not going to give it like a 2, is he?
I don't know. I'll go third though. This, I don't know. For me, this one, as I said at the beginning, it felt like the most generic like album so far. I didn't really feel like it's. I don't know. The vocals were definitely there with Matt Sharp having just being shit in the background. That is obviously unique. but for the when it comes to the music, it didn't really feel that special, and it was a bit repetitive, as I commented on. But again, I do like the idea that it's like finding out about this band, and I don't know, I'm not sure how much I like their style, but I feel like I like it more than Nevermind, and that just felt like a 90s sort of style that didn't appeal to me. Like, if I wanted to listen to 90s music, I'd go for something different, but if I wanted something more generic, then I'd just go for a different genre that I knew I liked. But that being said, there are some high points. I do like Say It Ain't So. It's a massive meme, and you have to appreciate that. I think I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Cool. Jonathan.
Yeah, so don't know. It's difficult to say really, because there's the odd song like Buddy Holly and Say It Ain't So, and Guess My Name Is Jonas, where I feel their sound does work and produces some songs that I really do like. I definitely liked them more when I was younger, but now, I mean, it might just be that this month isn't my Weezer month, but I think for the album it's gonna be a 6 overall.
It's harsh.
I still liked it. I'm still in the positive range.
Yeah. It could easily be a 7, and on a good day an 8. But right now it's a bad day.
On
It's
2,
fine.
maybe.
The foreshadowing
Okay,
already.
should we move on to the Soundgarden album then, yeah?
Okay.
Okay, try and not spend as much time on each song this time, which is kind of
So do you want to
to
intro this for a second? Just give out your facts.
Yeah, actually, do intro it though. Like, really, I want you to read your thing, because I can't be asked to do the thing. Just read it, Ethan.
Okay, I mean, it's pretty long.
Just go for it.
Speed.
Okay, alright. So, the band's fourth and certainly most popular and recognised album, released on the 8th of March 1994, which confirms that both albums I've chosen are in fact from the year specified, and not just there because a single from the album was released in 1994. The album in question is, of course, the over 70-minute, 15-track marathon putting first-time allergies to shame, known as Superunknown by Seattle grunge legend Soundgarden. The band is one of the members of what is formerly known as the Big Five, considered the 5 major grunge bands from Seattle, taking the rock scene by storm in the early to mid-90s, especially in the US. These were evidently Nirvana, who were considered to be the flagship band of the genre, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, the Stone Temple Pilots, and Soundgarden. All good bands, each having their own strengths and weaknesses, each with their own distinct takes on the genre. The band formed actually quite early in the beginning of the genre's movement, before Nirvana were really even a thing, in fact. Funnily enough, for a band that's so religiously identified with being Seattle-born and bred, 2 of its founding members were born in the Midwest. Kim Tail, the guitarist, and certainly one of the integral components of the band's attraction, as well as Hiro Yamamoto on bass. They moved to Olympia, Washington in the early 80s, where Yamamoto met Cornell and formed the band with him in 84. Tail soon joined with them, and the group named themselves Soundgarden after a local Seattle sculpture. During the next 2 years, Soundgarden gradually grew a devoted fan base through many club performances. The band released their first studio album in 1988 called Ultra Mega OK, followed shortly by Louder Than Love in 89. The album became an underground hit, giving itself overall really positive reviews from some mainstream publications. Yamamoto left the band to return to school shortly after the album's release. Jason Edelman, a former Nirvana guitarist, briefly played before he was replaced by Ben Shepherd in 1990. The band's third album, Bad Motorfinger, all one word, was another much larger hit than the previous 2 albums, often cited as the breakthrough album of the band, most notably due to the singles Rusty Cage and Outshine, Rusty Cage of which was later covered by Johnny Cash, who it seems covers more than he actually wrote. However, the album was somewhat overshadowed by the sensational success of Nevermind, like so many other albums from 1991, although again, due to Nevermind's success, we're secretly doing 1991 again, this gave many other alternative and grunge bands a boost they needed to get noticed in the grunge explosion. The band also received greater coverage through Cornell's side project Temple of the Dog, which he started with the lead singer from Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder. With the release of Superunknown, With the release of Superunknown in 1994, the band's following had grown exponentially, becoming one of the most popular albums of the year with the unmistakable hit Black Hole Sun. Soundgarden released Down on the Upside in 1996, which also did well, but didn't generate the sales they were expected after Superunknown's big success, and also due to grunge's fleeing popularity. After rumours of fighting and in a band conflict, Soundgarden announced they were breaking up in 1997 to pursue other interests. The most notable of which is where Cornell went, forming Audioslave with 3 remaining members of Rage Against the Machine. In 2010, the band announced they would be reuniting with some live shows, and they released their 6th and what would come to be their final one, King Animal, in 2012. Because unfortunately, even though there was a report of an incident set, on May the 17th, just last year, Chris Cornell, the lead singer, was found dead in his hotel room just after a recent show, having taken his own life at the age of 52. May he rest in peace. What makes this fact even sadder is that Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam is now the only lead singer still alive from the Big Five, as others have all died from either suicide or overdoses. So the track listing on Superunknown includes Let Me Drown, My Way, Fed on Black Days, Mailman, Superunknown, Head Down, Black Hole Sun, Spoon Man, Limo Wreck, The Day I Tried to Live, Kickstand, Fresh Tendrils, 4th of July, Half, Like Suicide, and finally She Likes Surprises, which I think may be a bonus track.
Yeah,
So we can start off with Let Me Drown. I quite like the song. The explosive start to the album, it's immediately heavy and captivating for me. The guitar tone is like, it's got this kind of murky, swampy thing. I love it. And the drums pound their way through the song. A song which Cornell has actually described as being about crawling back into the woods to die. Brendan, what do you guys think of the first track?
I think this is a very strong start to the album, and the first thing that I noticed when I started listening to this is it reminds me of all, like, when I was really young. You know, I used to listen to a lot of songs that are like this. Like, I want to say, like, let me see if I can find it. But basically, I used to watch like RuneScape AMVs, right, where someone would play RuneScape and use the footage of that and set it to like a rock song. And this reminds me of those things. So it's very Blow Me Away by Breaking Benjamin. I don't even know if they're the same genre, but this just reminded me of that for some reason, and so I was like immediately had those heartstrings being pulled, and I think it's a good start. Yeah, again, I'm probably going to say this a lot through the album, that I really like the vocals and the guitar as well to Let Me Drown.
Excellent. What about Johnny and Harry?
Yeah, so yeah, it's got a powerful driving riff and a sort of calmer breakdown section to it. Those are the notes I have. I think it's a good start. It's like I wouldn't say it's one of the notable songs off the album.
No.
Mm-hmm. Harry, you weren't a massive fan of the opening track, were you?
I feel like, to make it like fun for myself, I'm just gonna read exactly what I wrote. Okay, let me drown. Can I? Question mark. Long but fine. 6 out of 10. There you go.
Fair enough.
Alright.
And then very quickly I stopped writing the songs were long because they're all long. They're all very long, apart from Kickstand.
I think one of them is like
And
2
my only
minutes
note on
long as well.
Kickstand was at least it was short.
Okay, so the second track, My Way, again, I like it. It's a good intro riff. I think my main note for this is that I particularly like the ending. It has this sort of kind of descent into some kind of psychedelic, uncontrollable chaos. I really like it. And I also like the fact that, like, a lot of the other songs, in a really irregular time signature of 5/4, when most rock songs would be in 4/4, which I like. Good. New.
Tell me about it.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think My Wave. Yeah, I think it's it starts strong and it continues. I think this is a very powerful song, and the lyrics are great, especially the one "Don't Piss on My Gate." I think certain Samantha would be very happy to hear this pro gate defense um, from from My Wave. Yeah. Yeah, and again, something I'm gonna bring up about again is that the vocals they are very good and they're strong, but they never really feel like overwhelming too much, which is good. They get a lot of like impact across without much without much volume or being like, I don't know, a metal song where it would be a bit more like screaming and in your face.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like the because like I didn't really like the lead singer,
Oh no, I really like
and that kind of ruined the album
Oh, that's a shame.
for me.
I really like Chris Cornell.
Yeah. No, I'm
But then I don't really like Eddie Vedder either. So
Eddie Brock.
I don't.
I'm a reporter.
You like Cobain? Do you like his voice?
I do like Cobain. I actually, after listening to this album, I re-listened to half of Nevermind just to check I wasn't completely wrong about that album.
And what was
'Cause
your verdict?
No, I wasn't. Nevermind's really good. I don't know. I guess it's really
What you
subjective.
don't like about grunge singers then?
I don't know.
Well, the
I just don't
vowels
like.
raise.
I don't think I like grunge. I think I just liked Nevermind.
I'm the opposite because I famously gave Nevermind a 6 out of 10, which is a sin. But this definitely appealed to me a lot more. I feel like with his vocals, they feel a lot clearer, which is something I liked about Rage and something I like about this too. That you can just like listen to it. It doesn't have a shitty filter over it.
Yeah,
like someone is trying to record the music through a phone going through a Discord chat.
But Nirvana definitely like the music was definitely a lot more interesting. Like the songs were shorter, they were sweeter, there was like stuff going on. This one actually, of all the songs, I found the intro and the outro really interesting. I know Ethan didn't like the outro. I enjoyed the outro, but the actual like the meat of the song was a bit shit. So also it's called My Way. It's just teasing me there. It's not Frank Sinatra's My Way, is it? Come on.
I mean, going back to like they feel more like a rock band than a grunge band to me.
Sorry, you cut out. What did you just say? They feel more like a what band to what band?
More like a rock band than a grunge band.
I can see that.
Okay.
I mean, I honestly don't know what grunge is, so you know.
Yeah, I didn't really know what grunge was, but then I kind of was doing a bit of research, and I was like, it's one of the most pivotal grunge bands. And then it also cited Pearl Jam's 10, which from the little bits I've heard, I think I'm gonna have this problem with that album as well. Sorry, Ethan, I know it's one of your favourites.
It is one of my favourites. I thought you liked it, Chloe.
No, I don't really like Pearl Jam.
But, Harry, it's about the inherent balance between good and evil in the universe. The Christian and Church Road. I'm trying to tell you.
Let's just wear the vowels, man.
Is grunge the hey, you know that sound you're looking for? Listen to this.
No,
Genre.
that's rock.
Damn.
Yeah, no, that's just like classic kind of blues, 50s, 60s rock, the Chuck Berry thing. Yeah, no.
Rock and roll.
So
Although I will always say one of the funniest episodes of The Simpsons.
yeah, I was
one
thinking of
where,
that too.
Where Homer Simpson starts a grunge band, and there's a part where someone in the audience is listening to them while they're playing a gig, and they pick up the phone. And it's like they say something like, "Oh hey, what did they say? Hey Kurt, it's your cousin Marvin Cobain. Listen, you know that new sound you've been looking for. Listen to this." Post in tears whenever I see it. Yeah.
Although that's
So, I guess-
obviously not the best band Homer was in, because come on, everyone knows the B Sharps.
The B Sharps. Yeah.
Were way better. When are we
Okay,
doing the
can we
B
please move on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fell on Black
Yeah.
Days.
Fell on Black Days.
So I love the riff, I love the solo, I love the song. This was my second interaction with Soundgarden after having really only heard Black Hole Sun. And this song is what made me listen to the rest of the album, this and Spoon Man especially. Again, I think with a lot of songs on this album, the lyrics demonstrate how melancholy Cornell's vocals can be, and they really resonate beautifully with the guitars. Like Tony has also said, I think one of the strong points with this just band in general is that the guitar and the lyrics really go hand in hand. Cornell is fantastic at bringing them together, and it really shows in this song for me.
Yeah, I'll agree with Ethan there. I think this song was one where his vocals do something different to how he sounds in the other ones, but still really good, and so he definitely has a lot of talent.
The singing sounds reminiscent of like Stereophonics for this song, I'd say. But being like,
I actually do see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any ones in particular? Because it does. I think Mr. Writer. Now that you pointed that out.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Just a general sort of, I don't want to say the husk in the voice, but something in there. I think it's because this one is a like softer pace, which is closer to what a Stereophonics song would be like. But yeah, no, I really like the riff is sort of kind of this light thing, and then once the drums kick in, it suddenly becomes this like heavier kicking thing, and then it goes back to that sort of melancholy, regretful feel. But yeah, no, I really like this song.
Oh, good. So, Harry, did you want to say something about Fun on Black Days?
I didn't even realise we were talking about Fun on Black Days. I have nothing to say about it.
So we'll move on to Mailman then.
Yeah, we can move on to Mailman.
I have nothing. Can I just go straight ahead and say I have nothing to say about Mailman, except the fact it was very slow.
Yeah,
there you go. That's all I have to say.
I've got heavy.
I didn't even hear.
He said it was very slow.
Oh, okay. Alright. Well, Mailman, again, I really like this one. I think the guitar tone in this song is particularly what I like. I know this is probably one that could be more of an acquired taste, but to me it sounds like it's literally being dragged through the sludgiest mud possible, and I actually love that sound so much. And the lead guitar especially is extremely dissonant at times, but in a way that's strangely still in key, so it doesn't put you off. It's a fantastic effect.
Yeah, I've got that Mailman. The voice is like, it's really like discordant almost. It's got like a distortion effect to it, but I feel like it really works for this song. And again, it's the emotion behind it is very impactful without being too overbearing. And I am still recording.
Yeah, I mean my note is just heavy repetitive riff, and it's a song off that album.
Cool.
Yep.
Right, so we get to Superunknown now, which is probably my favourite song from the album. I love it. You guys are going to disagree with me, but I think we have a pretty good track record with self-titled songs. Blood Sugar Sex Magic, for instance, is one of the best songs from that album, in the same way that Superunknown is probably, maybe not the best one, but it's certainly my favourite. And it's probably just ahead of Black Hole Sun, because I really have listened to it so many times recently. And it has one of my favourite solos, like Say It Ain't So, because of just how technical it is and the energy it has. You need a lot of skill to play it, and I really like that. So I love the way it starts with that isolated guitar playing that riff. It's really cool, and it fills the space very well considering it's just the one layer. Great verses, great choruses, with a typical kind of Chris Cornell, wailing above everything. And he does so well with such power. In fact, again, another reason why I like his vocals so much is because he's able to kind of scream some lines, but he's still able to retain some element of like being able to sing an actual note. It's mesmerizing. And when it comes to the solo, I like the breakdown a lot. The tune read slows down, it kind of becomes a bit more hazy, and then the solo comes flying in. Now, what I love about the solo is that not only for the fact that it sounds like it's been played flawlessly, it's the fact that because it's been played flawlessly, with an amazing wah effect, it has this appearance of sounding like, kind of like almost the flittering of butterfly wings. If those butterfly wings had like an over-distorted nylon guitar tone. But it's frankly incredible. It goes on for the perfect amount of time for me, becoming either boring or overplayed, and it has a great ending too because it cuts abrasively into head sound. Yeah, great song.
Yeah, I actually agree here.
Yeah.
Superunknown's a lot faster, it's a lot more engaging, and I can't believe I'm saying this. It was the perfect length because this album is way too long. All right, can I introduce my theory that there is a good album inside this album?
You just want to have to. You would cut some songs, right?
There are 16 songs, of which you can make a very good
Harry, you know that the
7-song album.
The reason why it's 16 songs long, which I was going to say at the intro, is that this is because this is the international cut, which adds, like, I want to say She Likes Surprise and some other songs on at the end. And, like, the American release, it just doesn't have as many songs. So maybe...
How many songs does it have? Because
look it up.
It'd be interesting, because there is a moment, and it comes fairly soon, where the album kind of just not fairly soon, but it just kind of just falls off a cliff. So for me, Superunknown is the start of the album, and then the next 4 songs are great. The first 2 songs of the album were okay, by the way, and then pretty much everything after that, apart from maybe the 15th track, is terrible. Like,
So
genuinely quite bad.
What's the last song that you quite like before it becomes not good?
And we'll get there. I think it was Tony's favourite. That's the last song I like.
Alright, good.
But yeah, Superunknown is where the album really engaged me. I thought the first 2 tracks in the album were passable. This is the first good song.
Tony, Johnny?
See, I think this is one of the weaker songs on the album. I don't know. It has got a nice sort of this fast, heavy riff and a sort of interesting effect on the singing, as though like because he's going for longer notes, it's like he's being left behind by the riff, which I think does kind of work in this one. But it just felt a bit repetitive and long for me, and didn't ever really engage me or ever feel like a unique song I'd go back and listen to. It was kind of more just a song off this album, compared to quite a few others on this that I probably would go and listen to.
I mean, I didn't have many notes for this just because it does feel like... I think it's just a song on the album can come off as an insult, but when the album just does have a good sound and it is mostly just really strong vocals, I am glad to have another song. But I don't know, it didn't do enough like unique for me to write any notes down about it, apparently. Although it did remind me of one of the songs that is, I want to say Back in Black, which is either the opening or the ending for Ninja Slayer, Ethan. So you have that to look forward to.
Hooray for me.
And Iron Man.
different Back in Black. Stole the name. So if we
So we
ready?
can go into Head Down.
Yeah.
Johnny, I think this is your most favourite one, right?
Yeah, I'd say this is my favourite song on the album, and therefore my favourite Soundgarden song. Just it's such a like unusual and distinctive like riff and opening. I say unusual and distinctive, and then go. It reminds me of the Sherlock intro. It's like okay, it's reminding me of something else, but. Yeah, it's an unusual, like interesting sound, and then it's just that on its own, and then like later, like a kind of another layer of exactly the same thing is over the top, which is it's like great build up. It's got sort of gentle sliding feel and a sort of kind of high pitched whispery style singing that works for this. I liked it, and it's a very unique song off this album. It was like the main one that stood out to me, other than Black Hole Sun, which stood out because I knew it, and sort of fell on Black Days because I have heard Ethan play that riff so many times on guitar.
Yeah, I will say that this one was one of the more unique ones. I like how it's, like around a midpoint of the album, it goes for a bit more of a quiet sound before we launch into Black Hole Sun. So, Harry and Ethan, do you have anything to say about Head Down?
Yeah, I do.
Right,
I do.
go ahead.
I definitely noted the fact that it was different.
Mm-hmm.
Like it like in the way that I'm trying to kind of justify why I like Nirvana and don't like Superunknown or Soundgarden or whatever the name of the band are. But in the way that kind of that album was like varied in pretty much every track, this is kind of like a nice spin. I like the ending, which sounds like the end of Whiplash, just the drums. Yeah, and I've written a good intro as well and a good chorus because I'm very good at making notes. Clearly.
Well, I don't really have much to say. I agree with you guys. It's a really good song for the reasons you've all explained. So we can go into the masterpiece itself. Black Hole Sun. It's a fantastic song.
Of
From
course.
the opening, discordant, chorus effect riff to the slower, more beat down chorus itself. The solo-like notes by Dale is another anarchic sounding, screaming guitar driven section in a nice
Anarchy.
time signature.
Anarchy in the
Something
UK.
that Soundgarden actually do
Bang,
quite often, which is a same time signature, something I already mentioned. The thing about Black Hole Sun is that the first time that I ever heard it was because Johnny told me about it. And I remember the maths lesson perfectly well when he said, Ethan, you need to check out Black Hole Sun because the music video is fantastic and it's actually quite a good song. Which is also how I know Harold Abercrombie, because he did the exact same thing. Music video was fantastic, good song, I should go check it out. And now they're two of my favourite songs. So thanks very much, Jonathan.
Woo!
Woo.
Yeah.
Well done, Jono. Yeah, I'll say that this song has had a powerful impact on media history, for good reason.
Yeah, it does.
Because, of course, the famous older man in background shouting "Black Hole Sun." Black Hole Sun. And I am going to come out with the hot take that old man who snuck into the soundstage and just wanted to sing along adds to the song. I think it's really good. Like, you do notice it and you do think it is a meme, but at the same time it's like, yeah, it's another great echo to it. And when you've got that main lyric of just "Black Hole Sun," it's just so much power behind it. It's really epic and good, and deserves its spot as song in the Mediate Hall of Fame, which I just invented.
Yeah. Okay, you know the story I told about the Weezer setting, so again, Ethan wanted a reason why I didn't have Black Hole Song in my list. So I think I must have made a comment about just the guy in the background who just shouts, and then for some reason this has become a big thing, and I've heard the song loads of times because of it, and I actually really like the song.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound grungy at all. It's very
I
very
think
alternative.
it's weird that it's grunge because, like I've said, the vocals are like really like clear.
It's just a good rock song. It's just a really good rock song. And also, I like the shouty man now,
Yeah.
and I like the fact that he gets more and more shouty as the song goes on. It's very slow. It's maybe a tad too long, but Black Hole Sun is a great song. It's the first great song on the album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Chris
like-
Cornell famously said that it only actually took him like 50 minutes to write the song. And apparently
Because there's one lyric.
yeah. But apparently
It's like
it's not
Weezer, but
really
way
about like any theme in particular. It's just to paint a surreal kind of weird landscape with interesting imagery, which it works so well with the music video because it's completely fun.
Yeah, so that is definitely what the music video does. It's sort of surreal, bizarre, kind of slightly horrific world.
Yeah.
I saw the
It's
music
when
video.
their mouths
It's like,
kind of like open.
The over smiling like they're being
That's terrifying.
melted by the
Like
Ark
the
of the
Joker.
Covenant.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this, and I hate music videos.
It's a really good music video, trust me. So, after Black Hole Sun, we go on to Spoon Man, which is another favourite of mine. I think it's fantastic. According to the band, the name is inspired by artist Spoon Man, a street performer from California, who plays music with a set of spoons, which actually later featured in the very exact,
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'll call that again.
No, sorry. Black Hole Sun is just terrifying.
oh yeah.
Oh my god, that's so scary.
Yeah, it's a true nightmare, definitely.
It's
Ugh.
so frightening. Yeah, sorry. Yes, and so the actual street performer featured in the song, and he was playing spoons in the song's bridge, which I think is pretty cool. Another one of my favourites, along with Fell on Black Days, it was one of the songs that made me want to listen to the rest of the album because I fell in love with it pretty quickly. Most notably, I really like the call and response effect between the lead vocals and the backing vocals during the verses, while the rest of the band cuts out it. Good impact.
Yeah, that's something I've got as a note.
Yeah. Well, what else do you like about the song, Jonathan? Is there anything else?
The sort of energetic riff as it sort of goes through. I've rated it quite highly, but I think, it's just a good, nice song to listen to. I don't know.
I really like Spoon Man 2, or as they say in the song, Spone Man. The rhythm is really good.
Garage.
Garage. Spone is better than Garage, to be fair. And I just think spoons are a top tier instrument. Like I don't know how they pitched it. Just almost like right in the middle of the album, just break down with a spoon solo, and it sounds lame, but it's actually hardcore, which is great. And it has one of my favorite lines in the entire album. All my friends are skeletons, and what can I say? It's just a great song. Spone Man.
Harry, this is still part of the album that you like, right?
Yeah, although it's not one of the, in the 5 good songs in a row. This is the worst of them. I've written drums. I don't know if it is drums. I just like the thing in the back, whatever it was. It sounded like drums to me. Maybe it's spoons. Who knows? I still don't like the vocals, but the music was good, so it made up for it.
Cool.
6 out of 10.
Cool. So next we get on to Limo Wreck, which I don't really have much to say about except for the fact that it's really good. Tony, I believe it's your favourite song.
Yeah, this is my favourite song, and to be fair, it was quite hard to choose because there's a lot of good songs in this album, in my opinion. But this is just the one that had like the highest peak of energy, which is why I like, when it's I'm trying to find the exact lyric here. Just where it's talking about gold and like all of that, it just has such a rising sort of sense of power behind it. That is, while the rest of you harvest the gold is such like a galaxy brain level sort of like mind blast of, oh my god, this is so cool, to the point where the only note I needed to write down about this was just because it's a good song. It's really just I love that energy, and it was hard to choose because again there's great Black Hole Sun, and I think there's some other songs I like later on, but still I think this is the best one, and it's great.
So yeah, I've got nothing to say about this song except that like when I was going through giving them a score and writing notes, I didn't give this one a score and I didn't write this one any notes, so I have absolutely no clue what I thought about this except for the whole 5-minute 48 runtime. I was clearly distracted by something else.
You just mind blanked. I don't know. I feel like this one is the most I don't know, one of the high notes, it feels like to me. Like it grabs your attention, in my opinion.
This is especially like a very consistent part of the album. Although I think after this, it's another one of my favourite songs. The Day I Tried to Live. I don't know if this is where I started to dislike the album, but this song certainly stands out to me because of the intro riff. It's kind of, it sounds idyllic, and you can't help but feel you're lifted up by it. And as much of a cliche as it sounds, you kind of feel like you're drifting away into the sunset with a breeze in your face. But yeah, that kind of doesn't really last long, considering what the lyrics are about. But it's still a brilliant way to kick off the song, and it has a good ending too, as it kind of gently fades away. Nothing too loud or too shouty. It's nice. It's a really good song.
Yeah, no, I like.
Are we still talking about Limo Wreck?
No, we moved on to The Day I Had
Yeah,
to
I
Live.
tried to live.
Oh shit! I didn't get to say anything about Limo Wreck.
What do you want to interject quickly, Harry?
I want to say it was a good song, and it should have been the penultimate song of the album.
Ooh.
Thank you. Director's cut right over.
So you do like Day I Tried to Live?
I like Limo Wreck. The Day I Tried to Live, I've written good intro, then screaming, and I did not like it. And it's pretty my least favorite song on the album so far.
Really?
Yeah, it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but I didn't think I have any sort of standout notes to make about it.
Yeah, so I do really like this one. So at the start, you've got this kind of like light, twiddly riff, and then that kind of leads to more of the chorus. There's like this heavier kind of sliding sort of effect that just, I don't know, I really enjoy. And there's a kind of feel of discord, but it's not quite. I don't know. Yeah, definitely wants.
We're on a group call.
Yeah, that is, and then after you've had that sort of sliding bit, there's then this sort of section of discord that I really like, because I quite often bits where Discord works well, and this feels one, and then just sort of it kind of, because it has bits where it has that Discord, and then it goes into like a more, I don't know, proper chord, I imagine, for when he says "the day I try to live," and that then just sort of does a good job of standing out. Part of the reason I'm adding notes as I'm going here is because I am listening to the track as I review this. So.
Tony?
I don't have any more notes for the day I trust.
Right, no worries. So the next track is Kickstand. Again, one of my absolute favourites. It has this gnarly kind of punky attitude, moving at a rapid pace that doesn't slow down. It's the Mad Max of songs, except this is short, which is how anything of that sort of speed should be in order to avoid boredom. I normally listen to this song about 3 or 4 times in a row when it comes to it, because it's over so quickly, and I really want to listen to it again. Terrific track.
Yeah, this one is definitely like a lot more energetic and like upbeat compared to the other ones. And again, I do like that it is short, sweet.
I like that it was short. Man, it was over quick.
Yeah, no, this song didn't really do much for me particularly. So I've like sort of given it a score, but not really any notes. It's like right in the middle. I don't really feel either way about it. It's just a song off the album.
At least I have notes for this. The next 3 songs I have just note. Well, I have like notes, but they're not notes about the song. They're just my brain just dying.
Just hang in there, Harry. Not long left. So, Fred Tendril. The thing that stands out for me about the song is that there's like a really cool flat sounding effect on the bass. You know, that's pungent, it cuts through, and it gives the band like a kind of a boost that almost feels like a bounce. And again, it's a good start when the 2 guitars layer each other really, really smoothly for me. I like it.
This one, it kind of has a western sound, which I noted.
Is it a space western?
I mean, like
Space
cowboy
fantasy,
westerns.
I don't know. Just something made me think about that. And again, this is a bit more in your face, like Kickstand.
Yeah. You too?
I have nothing to say.
I've just got it's a song off that album.
Yeah, I've basically the same. I've just written boring.
No worries. So, 4th of July, again for me, another great song. It's aptly named as well, considering just how explosive the song can get in the chorus and solo. Cornell has just these, completely haunting and ghostly vocal throughout, which really have a chilling effect. And it's again a song that validates the powerful impact that Cornell's harmonies have with each other. One at a lower pitch, and it's louder, giving the song kind of more of a foundation, as well as the quiet, trimming vocals at a higher pitch that just go hand in hand together really well. A cracking solo again. What sort of annoys me about this album, though, is that even though I still like them, the songs after this one could do without, considering how long the actual album is. I thought the July is incredible. It's finale material. You don't need half, like Suicide, or She Likes Surprises. This album really should have ended with 4th of July.
Oh, I like Suicide.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I think it was a lot. I think it's
Cool.
3 times the song that 4th of July is.
All right, well,
According to my score.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like it that much, so that's
Did you
how
not
low I
like 4th of
scored
July
4th of July. Nah, I just written stop, please. I don't really remember it. The fact you were talking. Yeah, sorry.
No,
Go on.
We're all talking over each other. I was going to say 4th of July. I'll just quickly agree with Ethan that the layers of the different pitches work really well. And he's again doing something unique with his vocals that gives it a great texture to this song. Although I will agree that the album does start to drag around this point.
Yeah.
Well, when we get on to Heart, it's an alright song. It certainly stands out from the album because it has kind of like some Middle Eastern influence in it.
Yeah, I was.
It sounds like either a sitar tuning, it could even be a sitar for all I know. So yeah, what this song really should have been was an interlude halfway through the album, separating it into because it does have that sort of interlude feel to it. I'm not quite sure what that is. That's just a feel, I guess.
Yeah, I'll agree with Ethan that it does have that sort of Arabian Nights kind of a musical theme to it, and my only note about half is that it's half a song long, and that's it. I think I was losing a bit of my energy a bit through this.
Yes. Can I read my notes?
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I just wrote different question mark, Indian, what? Painful, 1 out of 10.
Ooh, harsh words from Harry.
Does that make it worse than Endless Nameless?
It's on a par with Endless Nameless. At least this one was shorter.
I don't know, I've given this one half a 10, which is to say a 5, and then written no notes. So
should we go on to like
the
Suicide?
penultimate track, Like Suicide, which is one that Harry apparently likes, but I'm not a big fan. I don't think it needs to be 7 minutes. It's still alright. I think what I like about it is the guitar riff, I'm pretty sure, has some delay on it, which is what contributes to it, standing out to me. And it kicks off well. It just doesn't really shift into something else or anything new. It kind of stays on that wavelength, which is unfortunate for me.
Yeah.
And again, according to Cornell, the song is about the time a bird flew into his window of his house, and it being severely injured, he put it out of his misery, so he wrote a song about it.
Poor bird.
Harry, what do you like this song?
Yeah,
Well, like is I've already said like, but like it's pretty compared to the other songs around it. Like we said with the one we just did, Weezer, the kind of ending the album with like the long kind of bit slower song. Nirvana should have done it as well with Something in the Way. Never mind. That seems like a good tradition, but like Suicide, it definitely in my director's cut, it's the last song, and it's fine. It's different. I had a bit of a headache,
just gotta say that
I think I just wasn't in the mood for this kind of music.
Yeah, to me, when a song is this long, it has to sort of, I don't know, do a lot more for me to like think it's worth it. And this song didn't have much going for it. Anyway, Jono?
Yeah, literally for me, this is the end of the album. This is the last song on the version of the album I listened to.
Did not have the international version then, because
can we not do She Likes Surprises, because it's not even worth talking about.
Yeah, we could very quickly say you can speedrun it, because I've got 2 notes.
She Likes Surprises. It's a satisfactory end to the album. It's okay, I guess. It doesn't pack the punch that finale should have. Now, you guys disagree with me, but I think Only in Dreams from Weezer, that's how you win an album, in an epic and monumental way. Not with this, it doesn't stand out. But, I mean, the song is playful enough, I guess. It has that kind of cheery feel to it. That's all I really have to say. It shouldn't be on the album, though.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is a bonus track, so I guess they just wanted to release it in some way. I do feel like, again, that it's kind of an odd way to end it. Like, not in a bad way, just kind of, I don't know, I wasn't expecting it, and it threw me off a bit. But I think the guitar is strong in this song, which is something that I noted.
It's odd. It's definitely odd.
Yeah.
It sounds more like a shit Radiohead song than anything else. Like a really bad Radiohead song.
What, worse than Letdown?
So are we ready to wrap this up then?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that joke.
Yeah,
There's a joke in one of the Music Mates episodes.
For one reason I may not give OK Computer a 10, because Letdown is such a letdown.
That joke is like a year and a half in the making.
Yeah, I know, but I started it, so I get to use it as much as I want.
Alright, let's wrap up this album. Ethan, score it, boy.
I'll start off. So Cornell is one of my favourite singer-guitarists. I love the riff. I love his voice. They're both bold to me. I really like them. It's too long, but I don't really know what to get rid of because I like almost all the songs quite a lot. There's one or two here and there, but it just wouldn't have much of an impact. So yeah, I keep it at like 50 songs because I just wouldn't know what to cut away. I've not mentioned that I love the album's cover with its limited colour palette and the kind of nightmarish demon-like figure on it. When it comes to music itself, all the parts are well balanced to me and audible. You can hear all the components and all the layering in the tracks really well, I think. There's clarity, which is something Tony mentioned earlier, especially with something so distorted because of the guitar tones. Yeah, it's a solid album. It's actually better than that, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
That is a strong praise from Ethan. I will, again, going in descending order, but I will say that I like this album. Again, I'll reiterate that the vocals are great and they're incredibly clear and deliver a lot of emotion behind them, which is where the main appeal for this album comes from. And again, although we did give the age-old critique of some of the songs, just songs on the album, I feel like it does spice it up enough. And the complaint of it being too long is, I don't know, for me, I don't really see albums as much as like, oh, just sit down and listen to it all the way through. Because even though that's what we do to review them, they're more just ways to get given songs. So if a song is like bad, you can always just skip it. It's not like, I don't know, a scene in a film that would always be part of it, would always ruin it. It's less of a downer there. It's not that I dislike songs towards the end. It's
Yeah, but you're not reviewing certain songs, because if you were, I'd be giving this like a high 8. You're reviewing the album.
Yeah, but
and the songs are part of the album.
I don't know, like you. But also the album is like, the way I see music is you're sort of building up like a catalogue of songs that you like. So for me, it's less about, because I don't really like that many songs, even if an album has like 1 or 2 songs that I would put into my rota of songs that I listen to, then it's still really good for me, just because I'm so picky for no reason. But that being said, it's very good. I say, yeah, Chris Cornell is great. It's a shame he's not with us. You know, again, I don't know what it is about the life of a rock star that's so like destructive, and that always comes through in their music. And again, I like this one more than Weezer. I will give it an 8 out of 10.
Right, so I'll go next. Yeah, so my initial thought before really listening to this, to any other song by this band other than Black Hole Sun, was that I thought they were going to be very much just a like 7 out of 10 band of like, they've got this one good song, but then the rest you can kind of, you know, it's good, but you can kind of, nothing else exceptional. So I was glad to find that there were other songs by them that were good, and that they'd surpassed my expectation of just being a kind of band you can mostly sweep under the rug other than that one song. And they keep, I feel, for most of the album, they do keep a fairly like, I don't know, even and good ground. And what I do say is just a song off that album, it isn't much of an insult for a song off this album,
good,
I
it's
felt.
not an insult.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. So I think I am gonna give this album an 8. It was, yeah, I don't know. I think it could be a 7, but I don't know. I think it surprised me and raised did better than I was expecting. So I'll give that an 8.
Woo.
Woo. Right, I don't really know why, because obviously I like about half of it, which I've had before, I think, on this podcast. I can't remember. We've done it over such a long time.
Was it? What's it
I've
called?
liked
The very first
half
one?
an album.
What's
I've
it
liked
called?
half an album before.
Violator.
It may be, but this time I genuinely dislike half an album,
Fair enough.
which I don't really know why, because a lot of the songs are the same. I guess it's just which ones work for me.
Yeah,
When I first
might
listened
be
to
the
it, I
order.
kind of thought it was the mood I was in. If I wasn't like Jono, I wasn't up for the kind of music that was on. But after re-listening to Nevermind, I've realised that no, I just don't think it's a high enough quality. Well, for me anyway. It kind of felt like a bit of a shit Nirvana. And maybe I just don't like
I would say
grunge
that they
music,
go for
apart
different
from...
things, though, I feel.
Yeah, they're different enough that they kind of, it's not fully like a rip-off. And like they have songs like Black Hole Sun, which are unique and interesting that I enjoyed,
Boatman.
and the ones either side of it. But apart from that, I don't know what to give it, man.
There are definitely.
I think I'll go
criticisms.
for a 5, just because there are
That's quite
songs
high.
that I like in the album that balance out the ones I don't like.
Fair enough.
But it's a pretty like it's on the negative side of the 5 versus the positive side of the 5.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear you weren't a massive fan. Although I am glad that Tony and Johnny did like it. I was sceptical about you, Tony, because I know that you haven't in the past liked music from that sort of genre. Even though I was like really pleasantly surprised that you love Rage Against the Machine, because I didn't think you'd be a fan. So I was glad to hear that you loved that.
I think it is just the fact that he delivers emotion like so well in his vocals while being clear and not being like, you know, in your face or being like kind of, I don't know, like too warped about it. You know, like you can always get what he's going for when you listen to it, which I like.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, I think it has, again, some of the songs maybe, but it has a good rhythm to it, you know. It starts strong, and then you've got, you know, Head Down, Black Hole Sun, and Spone Man, and like Limerence all in the middle, which makes it like a strong listening experience, even though it tails out a bit towards the end.
Yeah, the middle is so good.
Yeah.
The rest is
Well,
not good.
Yeah, so I guess that concludes this episode of Music Mate. Tune in next time to listen to either our first spin-off or 1995. So I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, but you'll find out soon. Okay, thank you for listening. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye.
And also, goodbye from me.
And Tony,
Goodbye.
goodbye.
Should we all cut our audio out now?